It's just from what I knowed before.
Hmm.
And happy Sabbath, everybody! Welcome to Word Review number 74. Howdy, Landon.
How you doing?
Gary.
I said, how you doing?
Oh, how are you doing? Am I doing the food? Going to meet the Swedish meatballs. Okay, howdy, everybody over there in chat. Melly, April, Lynn, whoever else has shown up, I can't see yet. It's giving me the schema. You're going to be 10 minutes behind on YouTube in real life on this side. How was your week?
It was hot. I mean, besides that, I mean, it's all right. It's going good. Busy painting.
Yeah.
Lots of painting.
Like after yesterday, after sunset, like an hour, maybe 2 hours after sunset, I went out, come back in. I said, man, it's hot. Check the weather. It was still 98 degrees. So, man, if I wanted to live in Phoenix, I'd move there. Sorry, Lynn. All right. Enough distraction. Today we are continuing on in the Word with Book of Numbers, chapters 31 and 32. If you want to read along with us, or if you don't have a paper Bible, go to kingjamesbibleonline.org. 1611 version there that you can get also has the Apocrypha. Blue Letter Bible has multiple translations. eSword.net has multiple translations. Bible Hub has multiple translations and all kinds of atlases and maps and cool stuff. Bible Study Tools has an audio Bible, plus all kinds of translations and maps and stuff like that too. When I say translations, I'm not talking about special editions. I'm not talking about like the Bible translation for men with half a mustache. No. Different translations into English. They may have other ones. Wonderful. That Lynn says, still 100 here at midnight. Negative, Ghost Rider. Okay. We, if you are tired of dealing with the system, sign up for the free classes. Go to c2kreport.com. Classes are free. They run for 4 Monday evenings in a row, and then you get a 5th session that's recorded, sent to you. Anybody got any special prayer requests? Thank you, Lynn. Yeah, there's the link right there in the YouTube chat. Okay, since nobody's saying anything, let's go ahead and pray in. Hey, that's not the praying in button. There we go. Father, thank you very much for bringing us together today to enjoy your day of rest and to revel in your written word that you have given us. Time and again, your son, Jesus, Yeshua, he said, have you not read? And he also said, it is written. We've got tons of stuff we need to learn in this. And it's something fresh every time we read it. We are very grateful for that. And thank you for this. We would ask you to be with Robert and his family. And call the people causing those problems to repentance in your son. Soften their heart to you. We also ask for your healing touch on those that are suffering illnesses right now, whether it be physical or spiritual. We thank you for that and give you all the glory. Bless you, Father. Thank you. We also ask you to pour out your spirit on everybody here now and in the future so that they get the lesson that they need to get from this reading. Thank you. In Jesus Yeshua's name, amen. All right. 1, 2, 3. Hey, look at that guy. What's happening, Matt? You're muted, man. The
Oh, my computer was being super slow. It wasn't loading or anything.
that happens. Yep. Glad you're here. Let's see. Yeah, I was right. YouTube's about 5 minutes behind. Okay. Let's get this going. Let's get it going. Numbers, Capitulo 31. Make sure I'm on the correct thing there. Correct thing there. Window. That. Share. And let's go. Oh, you can't.
Nights. Afterward shalt thou be gathered unto thy people. And Moses spake unto the people, saying, Arm some of yourselves unto the war, and let them go against the Midianites, and avenge the Lord of Midian. Of every tribe 1,000 throughout all the tribes of Israel shall ye send to the war. So there were delivered out of the thousands of Israel 1,000 of every tribe, 12,000 armed for war. And Moses sent them to the war, 1,000 of every tribe, them and Phinehas the son of Eleazar the priest, to the war, with the holy instruments, and the trumpets to blow in his hand. And they warred against the Midianites, as the Lord commanded Moses. And they slew all the males, and they slew the kings of Midian, beside the rest of them that were slain, namely Evi and Rechem and Zur and Hur and Reba, 5 kings of Midian. Balaam also, the son of Beor, they slew with the sword. And the children of Israel took all the women of Midian captives, and their little ones, and took the spoil of all their cattle, and all their flocks, and all their goods. And they burnt all their cities wherein they dwelt, and all their goodly castles with fire. And they took all the spoil, and all the prey, both of men and of beasts. And they brought the captives, and the prey, and the spoil unto Moses, and Eleazar the priest, and unto the congregation of the children of Israel, unto the camp at the plains of Moab, which are by Jordan near Jericho. And Moses and Eleazar the priest, and all the princes of the congregation went forth to meet them without the camp. And Moses was wroth with the officers of the host, with the captains over thousands, and captains over hundreds, which came from the battle. And Moses said unto them, Have ye saved all the women alive? Behold, these caused the children of Israel, through the counsel of Balaam, to commit trespass against the Lord in the matter of Peor. And there was a plague among the congregation of the Lord. Now therefore kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman that hath known man by lying with him. But all the women children that have not known a man by lying with him, keep alive for yourselves. And do ye abide without the camp 7 days, whosoever hath killed any person, and whosoever hath touched any slain, purify both yourselves and your captives on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day. And purify all your raiment, and all that is made of skins, and all work of goat's hair, and all things made of wood. And Eleazar the priest said unto the men of war, which went to the battle, This is the ordinance of the law which the Lord commanded Moses. Only the gold and the silver, the brass, the iron, the tin, and the lead, everything that may abide the fire, ye shall make it go through the fire, and it shall be clean. Nevertheless, it shall be purified with the water of separation. And all that abideth not the fire, ye shall make go through the water. And ye shall wash your clothes on the 7th day, and ye shall be clean, and afterward ye shall come into the camp. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Take the sum of the prey that was taken, both of man and of beast, thou and Eleazar the priest, and the chief fathers of the congregation, and divide the prey into 2 parts, between them that took the war upon them, who went out to battle, and between all the congregation. And levy a tribute unto the Lord of the men of war which went out to battle, 1 soul of 500, both of the persons, and of the beeves, and of the asses, and of the sheep. Take it of their half, and give it unto Eleazar the priest, for an heave offering of the Lord. And of the children of Israel's half, thou shalt take 1 portion of 50 of the persons, of the beeves, of the asses, and of the flocks, of all manner of beasts, and give them unto the Levites, which keep the charge of the tabernacle of the Lord. And Moses and Eleazar the priest did as the Lord commanded Moses. And the booty, being the rest of the prey which the men of war had caught, was 600,000 and 70,000 and 5,000 sheep, and 12,000 beeves, and 1,000 asses, and 32,000 persons in all of women that had not known man by lying with him. And the half which was the portion of them that went out to war was in number 300,000 and 37,000 and 500 sheep. And the Lord's tribute of the sheep was 615, and the beeves were 36,000, of which the Lord's tribute was 12, and the asses were 30,500, of which the Lord's tribute was 1, and the persons were 16,000, of which the Lord's tribute was 32 persons. And Moses gave the tribute which was the Lord's heap offering unto Eleazar the priest, as the Lord commanded Moses. And of the children of Israel's half, which Moses divided from the men that warred, now the half that pertained unto the congregation was 300,000 and 30,000 and 7,500 sheep, and 36,000 beeves, and 30,000 asses and 500, and 16,000 persons. Even of the children of Israel's half, Moses took one portion of 50, both of man and of beast, and gave them unto the Levites, which kept the charge of the tabernacle of the Lord, as the Lord commanded Moses. And the officers which were over thousands of the host, the captains of thousands and captains of hundreds, came near unto Moses. And they said unto Moses, Thy servants have taken the sum of the men of war which are under our charge, and there lacketh not one man of us. We have therefore brought an oblation for the Lord, what every man hath gotten of jewels of gold, chains and bracelets, rings, earrings, and tablets, to make an atonement for our souls before the Lord. And Moses and Eleazar the priest took the gold of them, even all wrought jewels, and all the gold of the offering that they offered up to the Lord, of the captains of thousands, and of the captains of hundreds, was 16,750 shekels. But the men of war had taken spoil, every man for himself. And Moses and Eleazar the priest took the gold of the captains of thousands and of hundreds, and brought it into the tabernacle of the congregation for a memorial for the children of Israel before the Lord. Numbers 32. Now the children of Reuben and the children of Gad had a very great multitude of cattle. And when they saw the land of Jazer and the land of Gilead, that, behold, the place was a place for cattle, the children of Gad and the children of Reuben came and spake unto Moses, and to Eleazar the priest, and unto the princes of the congregation, saying, Adareth, and Dibon, and Jazer, and Nimrah, and Heshbon, and Elealeh, and Shebam, and Nebo, and Beon. Even the country which the Lord smote before the congregation of Israel is a land for cattle, and thy servants have cattle. Wherefore said they, If we have found grace in thy sight, let this land be given unto thy servants for a possession, and bring us not over Jordan. And Moses said unto the children of Gad, and to the children of Reuben, Shall your brethren go to war, and shall ye sit here? And wherefore discourage ye the heart of the children of Israel from going over into the land which the Lord hath given them? Thus did your fathers when I sent them from Kadesh Barnea to see the land. For when they went up unto the valley of Eshcol, and saw the land, they discouraged the heart of the children of Israel, that they should not go into the land which the Lord had given them. And the Lord's anger was kindled the same time, and he sware, saying, Surely none of the men that came up out of Egypt from 20 years old and upward shall see the land which I swear unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob, because they have not wholly followed me, save Caleb the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite, and Joshua the son of Nun, for they have wholly followed the Lord. And the Lord's anger was kindled against Israel, and he made them wander in the wilderness 40 years, until all the generation that had done evil in the sight of the Lord was consumed. And behold, ye are risen up in your father's stead, an increase of sinful men, to augment yet the fierce anger of the Lord toward Israel. For if ye turn away from after him, he will yet again leave them in the wilderness, and ye shall destroy all this people. And they came near unto him and said, We will build sheepfolds here for our cattle, and cities for our little ones. But we ourselves will go ready armed before the children of Israel, until we have brought them unto their place. And our little ones shall dwell in the fenced cities because of the inhabitants of the land. We will not return unto our houses until the children of Israel have inherited every man his inheritance. For we will not inherit with them on yonder side Jordan, or forward, because our inheritance is fallen to us on this side Jordan eastward. And Moses said unto them, If ye will do this thing, if ye will go armed before the Lord to war, and will go all of you armed over Jordan before the Lord, until he hath driven out his enemies from before him, and the land be subdued before the Lord, then afterward ye shall return, and be guiltless before the Lord, and before Israel. And this land shall be your possession before the Lord. But if ye will not do so, behold, ye have sinned against the Lord, and be sure your sin will find you out. Build you cities for your little ones, and folds for your sheep, and do that which hath proceeded out of your mouth. And the children of Gad and the children of Reuben spake unto Moses, saying, Thy servants will do as my Lord commandeth. Our little ones, our wives, our flocks, and all our cattle shall be there in the cities of Gilead. But thy servants will pass over, every man armed for war, before the Lord to battle, as my Lord saith. So concerning them Moses commanded Eleazar the priest, and Joshua the son of Nun, and the chief fathers of the tribes of the children of Israel. And Moses said unto them, If the children of Gad and the children of Reuben will pass with you over Jordan, every man armed to battle before the Lord, and the land shall be subdued before you, then ye shall give them the land of Gilead for a possession. But if they will not pass over with you armed, they shall have possessions among you in the land of Canaan. And the children of Gad and the children of Reuben answered, saying, As the Lord hath said unto thy servants, so will we do. We will pass over armed before the Lord into the land of Canaan, that the possession of our inheritance on this side Jordan may be ours. And Moses gave unto them, even to the children of Gad, and to the children of Reuben, and unto half the tribe of Manasseh the son of Joseph, the kingdom of Sihon, king of the Amorites, and the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, the land with the cities thereof in the coasts, even the cities of the country round about. And the children of Gad built Dibon, and Adaroth, and Aroer, and Atroth, Shophan, and Jazer, and Jogbehah, and Beth Nimrah, and Beth Haran, fenced cities, and folds for sheep. And the children of Reuben built Heshbon, and Elealeh, and Kirjathaim, and Nebo, and Baal-meon, their names being changed, and Shibmah, and gave other names unto the cities which they builded. And the children of Machir the son of Manasseh went to Gilead, and took it, and dispossessed the Amorite which was in it. And Moses gave Gilead unto Machir the son of Manasseh, and he dwelt therein. And Jair the son of Manasseh went and took the small towns thereof, and called them Havoth Jair. And Nobah went and took Kenath, and the villages thereof, and called it Nobah, after his own name.
Woo! Okay, let's fix this. There we go. Go back to 31. All right, talk to me. What do you got?
I thought it was interesting that they only kept the virgins alive.
Virgin women.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Yeah. Yep. Why would they do that, do you think? Why would Yah do that?
I think it had to. Well, think about it. All the married women's husbands would have died, and so the other women wouldn't have, they wouldn't have had a husband yet. So I think he thinks that they could have come in and been part of Israel, where the widows would have probably, the widows would have probably not been about that. would be my guess. I mean, hey, come on in. We just killed your husbands.
Yep. And like
Yeah,
this,
that's a good question. See how they asked, how did they tell? How could they determine that? That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
well, maybe is it ICO as it sounds, either physical examination, or they just went by if they had a kid or not. Got to
Plus, didn't
remember,
maidens dress a little differently? Like it was like customary for like a young maiden to wear like blue
Yeah.
or whatever, you know.
yeah, yeah, that same thing is the same thing at the same time as Lynn said that.
I said it first.
That the yeah, very very interesting and good questions. Could be possibly how they dressed, but also too it points out they're the ones. Those women are the ones that Balaam used to lead the men of Israel astray.
Mhm.
And it's interesting that the army didn't pick up on it. Like they kind of showed them mercy at first until Moses and Eleazar got there. And
Yep.
they're like, what are you doing?
That's an interesting supposition there. Maybe those that were married were tattooed, like across the forehead.
So I was just saying, we're no longer doing rings. We're doing the
Yeah.
Tyson.
Yeah, Mike Tyson.
Well, the ring supposedly goes all the way back to Egypt, maybe even sooner. Might have been wearing rings. Who knows?
Yeah, could be. Could be. Yeah, very very good questions.
Yeah.
And notice that they weren't real happy, and that too the Midianites are from Midian, who was a son of Abraham from Keturah. So these are Abraham's children. They're just strayed. Well, they were also sent away too, right? Remember, Abraham sent all the other wives and children away so that the inheritance would be Isaac's. So good discussion, good questions. Yep, step cousins. That tattoos could give them away, but you could change dress, but you're not going to change certain physical attributes.
Mhm.
Oh, that's the other thing I was going to say. They probably got to remember back then, nobody was practicing birth control like we have now. I mean, they had certain methods, but basically, if you were doing the deed, you were cranking out kids.
Like a honeybee.
Ah, good point, Margaret. The midwives would know.
Mhm. I always wondered how they knew if what tribes were uncircumcised as well.
Probably pretty apparent.
Mm,
Lift your skirt up.
yeah.
I'd like to think that people lied a little less back then, but I don't know. I mean, human nature. It's just that whole thing that honor amongst men. I mean, especially the men, right?
Yep. So what do you think about all the stuff they got to keep?
A lot of animals.
Yep. Lots of animals.
Makes you wonder how they kept them all. Like how there was that much forage for them in the desert where they were.
Was it a desert back then?
Yeah,
Wilderness.
No.
must have been.
I mean, some of it was probably desert by rainfall, but was it more green like here, like in the Sonoran Desert or the Chihuahuan Desert, where you actually have a lot of grass and
There would have had to been
yeah.
that many animals. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Plus, before they went into the promised land, there was, all those tribes that were there were already farming. I mean, look at all the livestock they had. They had to be managing the land. They weren't just growing hundreds of acres of alfalfa and then letting the cattle destroy everything.
No, I think everybody used to do. They just took all their animals through prairies, and just kept moving them around. Basically, just followed them, pushed them where they wanted them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what were you doing? You weren't on Facebook.
Yeah.
You weren't on Facebook or shopping for a new dishwasher.
Well, if you think about it, that's actually the easiest way to feed animals is to just move them around like that.
And it's 72 degrees all year long, depending on where you go.
Yeah, all right. Speaking of which, was Tucson super hot yesterday?
It was like 98 degrees after sunset.
Weird. It was 105 out here yesterday.
To which
after.
Lynn chimed in, it was still 100 degrees at midnight
Jeez.
in her area.
That's really hot for this time of year.
Yeah. Typically, we should be wetter.
Mm-hmm.
They started spraying yesterday, I think, is why it got so hot.
Yeah.
Just my opinion. But yeah, that's a lot of beeves and asses.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And notice that that was an interesting part, because what does everybody always say? Well, a tithe is 10%. But he said, out of all that booty, right? God told them you give 1/50, the 50th part, 1 in 50, to the Levites. Out of all that, that's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But still, look at how much that's going to grow once they start breeding. Once they start giving off calves and kids and lambs,
You'll have just enough to atone for all your sins.
yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of changing my view on that. I think people would probably strive not to be giving away their whole flock as a sacrifice.
Right.
Very interesting. Anything else for 31? Interesting about all the jewels, the jewelry.
Where was that at again?
50-51.
Kitty.
Jewels of gold, chains, bracelets, rings, earrings, and tablets to make an atonement for our souls before the Lord. So they took all those wedding rings. Whoever was talking about the jewelry earlier.
They were on Facebook. They had tablets. Sorry, that's stupid.
I don't know. Is anybody raising grapes? Do well-dressed vines make better grapes? Probably. It's probably like the difference between a wild grape and a
It's kind of that way with everything, every plant, you know.
Yep. Okay, let's go to 32. Go back to 32. So this is starting to battle for cattle. But we're talking about Gad and Reuben want the land that they just came into, right? Or that they're getting ready to go into. We want to be on the east side of the Jordan. So basically, through Moses, they're told, is that fair? That you get to camp out here and all your brethren have to go to war on the other side of the Jordan to beat those kings? So they say, hey, let us pin in our cattle and build shelter for our wives and children, and we'll go to war over on the other side. It is pretty fair. I think. Sounds fair. Huh? Okay.
It makes it fair. Like,
Yeah. And then they're also told again that the mumblers are not going to be going over. The grumblers, the murmurers. You're not going over.
right. And see, I was kind of wondering that why they wanted to settle there. Anyway, like, I don't, what's the mentality? You just tired? You're the oldest brother? Or like, you like, he like, well, most of us are going to die anyway, so we might as well just settle in because, you know, I don't know. I was just wondering because it said that right after. It like brought it back up.
Yep. Yeah, good, Lynn. Yeah, we all need to work at it. It's easy to complain. We're brought up complaining, regardless of what it is. It's like a national sport. The sport of grumbling. Yeah. Mumblers. Yeah. Folks that talk to themselves out loud.
Hi.
I remember reading this thing a long time ago. Totally rabbit trail. But this whole family was amazed because their grandmother was so happy. She's always going around singing songs. And then one day, one of the older grandkids realized she was singing stuff like shut off the lights, remember your keys, dun, 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 dun. They're like, what are you doing, Grandma? That's not a song. And she said, if I talk to myself to remind myself to shut off the lights and remember my keys, everyone's going to say that crazy old lady's talking to herself. But if I'm singing, they're going to say that old lady's so happy. Yep. So this is very interesting. It's quite the bargain that they make. Now, what do you think that is in verse 24? Because he tells Gad and Reuben, Moses does, or Yah through Moses says, build cities for your little ones and folds for your sheep. Didn't they just take over a bunch of cities? Does he mean like restore those cities or what?
I don't know. Maybe.
It might not have been enough, you know.
Right. That's true. That's a good point. Could have been. What a cute little city. They expanded. And don't forget, too, the Levites are also going to be getting suburbs in those cities. Right. Plus what? What was it? 6 or 12? 6 or 12 sanctuary cities, real ones, not the modern perversion. All right. Anything else jumping out at you? Anybody? It names off the cities they built and what they named them. How long did they wait? Do you think? How long did it take them to build these cities?
I don't know.
Depends if they're like the Amish or
Yeah.
like the Union.
Yeah. We're still waiting for the Union ox to come and help us dig this up. I don't like that Union ox. It's so old. Yeah, but he has seniority. Seniority. The ox with
And then
seniority.
again, it's like, well, it had to have had abundant resources because how could you have built the cities, you know?
Yeah, they had to. They had to have already had pits where they were digging to make bricks. They had to have lumber, or at least lumber enough for like roofs and stuff. But remember too, going back through Leviticus when it was talking about when they take over houses, you know, what to do if the house has leprosy in it. So like mold or mildew, something in there. Yeah, I think so. That's a good point, Margaret. Like the CBs, like Nehemiah, building with your right hand, with your sword in your left.
I don't know. I'm not very accurate with a hammer with my right hand.
Yeah. Are you left-handed?
I am. That's why when people say it's easier for a camel to go through an eye of a needle than a rich man entering the kingdom, I'm like, the eye of the needle was made for a left-handed warrior. So
Yeah. Maybe. Okay. Well, nobody else got anything on this. Anybody got open subject time? Don't everybody jump all at once.
exciting times.
Is Bowman still here? Happy anniversary, Bowman and Mrs. Bowman.
Is his anniversary today? Cool.
Yep. I know.
He's up in Flagstaff. He's up in that.
He's the other end of Arizona.
Yeah, that nice climate for the summer and horrible winter.
Yeah, but apparently, if you do live in Phoenix and have the freedom to, I mean, if you could set it up where you just, which you can if you got animals, I get it, but just go, live up there for a little while and then in the summer and then shoot down for the, I don't know.
You mean,
I mean, this
you
is
mean
all,
live there in the winter? Oh, I see what you're saying. Live in
Yeah,
Flagstaff. Yeah.
Actually,
I
my
was-
stepson does that. They live in Phoenix for the winter and then haul the trailer up to the land in Flagstaff. Well, it's not in Flagstaff. It's near there. And
pretty-
park out for the summer.
It's beautiful up there. That whole northern area where all the forests are.
Yeah, because 100 or 95 to 100 degrees certainly beats 115 to 120.
Even out here, I can drive 30 minutes, to Turkey Creek, and it's like 30 degrees cooler.
Yeah, it's an amazing difference.
Yeah.
Especially if there's water, running water.
Yeah. Which there is there like all year.
Yeah.
Water lakes.
Which is why all the old towns and villages across like Southern Europe and Mexico have a central plaza with a lot of trees and fountains that are running all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Why does everybody hang out in the town square? Because it's 20, 30 degrees cooler than your house.
Yeah.
I wish we could down the plaza back, really, instead of arguing on the internet. Yeah, I think that was like a smart thing.
Yeah, that's like a tradition that they still do in Mexico, that they used to have, and probably still do in some of Europe. But everybody goes to the plaza, the town square, at night, and if you're a family, you hang out with your family, the kids play with each other. But if you're an eligible bachelor, they do like a meet and greet where, like, I guess it would be like the 5-minute dating or whatever here, where all the single women line up and all the men go around like, oh, would you like to dance? Yep. He's a great dancer, but he's a jerk.
That's my kryptonite. I can't dance. I just
Yep. Promenade. Hey, if Ray Gun can do it, you can. Nobody knows who I'm talking about. Okay. That's the Australian breakdancer from the Olympics.
Oh, Ray Gun.
Yeah.
I've seen so many memes. They had that picture of that scene from 300 where Leonidas is kicking that dude into the pit and it's hurt.
Hey, you know what though? Where was the rest of her country that didn't show up?
Well, actually, because I'm really not interested in the Olympics, but I can't avoid the. Well, I could put down the phone, but I passed the time through Facebook. So apparently there was a scandal where she got her husband appointed as like the judge, and they basically denied a bunch of minority kids grants to be able to participate, or like disqualified them. So she put herself in the position of being like the person to go. So yeah, there's something shady going on there, but that's how she got to the Olympics. And now she's the most famous breakdancer in the world.
Hey, I could still make it if they come out with like a belly flop competition.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of dancing myself.
I used to excel at it. It was awesome.
Really?
I
Can't
haven't
man.
done it in
Can't.
quite a long time though.
What kind of dancing?
Oh, all sorts of stuff. 2-step, waltzing. Then they had to run it and come out with line dancing. Some places do have live pigeon shoots, but it's very exclusive. Oh, you're talking about the Olympics, huh? Yeah, it's quite a bit different than shooting an orange frisbee, a miniature orange frisbee, when your target is darting this way and that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right.
What kind of dancing is that, Margaret?
What?
So what kind of dancing is that?
Clothesline? Doing the clothesline? You're real talented if you can do a clothesline with a bicycle. Yeah. Let's shortcut through the Joneses yard. Flying. Okay. All right. Anybody else got anything? Negative? All right. Thanks for coming, hanging out, Landon, Matt. Don't forget, people, you too can like, share, and subscribe. I'm not exactly sure when classes are starting again, but go to c2kreport.com. Is it .com or .org? It's .com.
.com.
Sign up for the free classes. Things are getting sketchy. You don't want to be in the system. I guarantee it. I can guarantee it. Especially with
all your resources limited.
Yeah. Yep. You don't want to be there. Trust me on that. So, anyways, everybody, love you all. Praise our Heavenly Father and His Savior in all you do, everything you lay your hand to. Love you all.